Hello, hello, hello. Hope you guys are all doing well today. This video is a week late, but it's because I was pretty sick in the early January there. I had COVID and then pneumonia, and it just sucked. So we've got a couple good articles here. We got the Io spacecraft. It tours around Jupiter and stuff. We've got the Sydney funnel web spider, which is interesting. It's pretty big. And there's a helicopter for NASA on Mars doing some little explorations. So we'll just get right into it. So the NASA's spacecraft, known as Juno, is on its 57th flyby around Jupiter. It's come closer to the Io moon than in the last 20 years by going 930 miles or 1,500 kilometers from the surface. So the Juno spacecraft launched in 2011 on August 5th. It reached Jupiter and its moons around July 4th, 2016. And if you're wondering why it took essentially 5 years, well, it's a small 1.7 billion mile journey. So, just a small distance. It's also, 2.8 billion kilometers, if that's your metric. Io has a reputation for being the most volcanic body in our solar system, and that's mainly due to the fact that Jupiter and its other big moons, gravitational pull are basically just ripping it apart. Like it's kind of like our moon with our tides. It's creating tides of volcanoes essentially. So it's pretty cool, honestly, the way that it works. But yeah, it's riddled with it. Juno's primary mission ended in July 2021. So this is all just kind of bonus stuff that NASA is doing. They always do extended missions once the drone's done its job because you usually just can before getting rid of it. They plan to do a couple more rounds around Io, getting progressively further, and I think some of the last pictures they're going to take are going to be around like 100,000 kilometers away and stuff like that. And they decided that they're going to crash it. They're going to crash Juno straight into Jupiter to end its life, and they plan on ending it September 2025. So it's got like a year and a half left, or a year and 3/4 left, and then Juno's going to be no more. They're going to slam it into a planet. I wonder if they're going to try to take pictures while they're slamming it into Jupiter. That would be cool, but I don't know if they have the tech for that. Moving on, we'll go to the Sydney funnel web spider. The world's most venomous spider and the largest of its kind, the Sydney funnel web spider was donated to a local hospital 50 miles north of Sydney and was then added to the anti-venom program held by the Australian Reptile Park. So the park has had this program running since 1981, and Australia has not had a single fatality from a bite from these spiders ever since. So it works. It makes sense to have a lot of venom in Australia. You need it. There's so many venomous things out there, and I wouldn't want to live there. And the fact that these are just crawling in people's gardens is pretty horrific. A specimen of this size will yield a high amount of venom, extremely useful for making antivenom, which is great. The males are typically smaller but more venomous and more lethal, and then the females are usually bigger but less venomous. So getting a big one like this is like hitting the jackpot, is what they said. They named him Hercules, and he surpassed the former record holder, known as Colossus. Hercules measures around, or I guess it's probably not around, but it's 7.9 centimeters, and the average for these bad boys is 1 to 5 centimeters. So he's well above average. That's a pretty big guy. Yeah, it's a lot of antivenom that we're going to be able to milk out of him. The recent humidity on the east coast of Australia has caused ideal conditions for these spiders to thrive, which is the last thing I would want to hear if I lived over there. So they're blooming, I guess. They're not late bloomers, but it's just conditions where now they're just reproducing quite a bit, which is horrific considering it's extremely venomous. And the males can straight up just bite through a fingernail, so they've got quite the bite. We'll go over to the NASA heli, the Ingenuity Mars helicopter. The NASA Ingenuity Mars helicopter sets a new distance record by covering 705 meters in December, which beat its old record of 704 meters, which was set back in April 2022. The heli was sent to Mars with the Perseverance rover back in February 2021. And the two bots have been exploring the Jezero crater, which used to harbor a lake and a river in the ancient past. So I'll put a picture there for you guys to see that as well. The hop that got its new record was its 69th flight, and I can't help but feel like that, like they did that on purpose, considering it beat the record by 1 meter, and they did it on the 69th flight. Like, I know NASA's very smart people, but this seems like too much of a coincidence. It's just funny. Like, they clearly made a meme out of this. There's been some setbacks at times. Like, back in April 2023, they lost communications with the heli due to a hill between it and the rover, which handles all the communications between it and Earth, because this thing weighs like 2 kg. Like, it's not very heavy. So it probably doesn't have a lot of tech to do communications long distance like that. So the rover does all of that. So they're connected. And it went over a hill and then lost signal. They reconnected signals on the 5th of May, so it wasn't even a month. The disturbance was somewhat short-lived, right? Since the main reason it was done was for scouting for the rover, so it just flies ahead of the rover and then the rover follows into it, but it went over a hill, so it lost connection. And yeah, they said it wasn't surprising because they're working outside the operating area of their planned mission parameters, so it's things happen, but they said in the future they'll try to avoid that. But yeah, no, that's all I got today. I hope you guys have a great week, a great day, whatever. And if you guys enjoyed the video or have any comments on this, let me know what you guys think about these articles. They're pretty cool. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.